Hello, this is Yoda from DomiNations on November 20th, 2016, here with an update and my first World War attack. I am right now sitting in Night Owls, and this is an alliance that is, I guess, a sister alliance to the main alliance that I'm in, Eminent Domain, and I was having some problems getting the national trade goods for coalitions, and with eminent domain we required two coalitions to participate in world war. So I came here so that I can still participate in a world war but not have to use coalitions. So as you see, I have no coalitions, mainly because I don't have national trade goods, which is alright. It just makes my life a little more difficult. So let's do a quick other update. The Wonder Brandenburg Gate has finished. So now going in, I now have a blitzkrieg to use. I've also, what else is updated? I still have my cannon tower, and I still have my mortars upgrading. I guess mainly my planes. I'm now maxed out my planes to triplane Mark III. I also upgraded some of my research, and so now my tank depots pop out within the first 3 seconds, so that's always nice. And I do have to work on getting my other two, and right now I've been working on bunker in my research, so as soon as this finishes in a day and a half, I'll be able to work on my third or second bunker. So my other than that, there's really not much. Oh yes, over here in my armory, I finished my sabotage, which was a while, and I started on protect about 3 days ago. And protect's going to give me an extra 3 seconds, and then maybe I'll work on demolition. Aircraft is finished. I'm not using the Zeppelin. I don't use that, and that's the other thing I'm doing differently. I am going to be looking at doing a heavy tank in my attacks. So the reason being is the Brandenburg Gate, if we go to the info, gives me a 20% boost in my factory troops. So as you see sitting in my factory, I have a heavy tank, and that should give me a boost in my attack. And it does, because before this was 1,000 and it was 2,000. So now I've got a boost there, and then if I upgrade it and that, this will be a pretty good hit. So as we see down below, I've got to change. I'm only going with one tank. I'm now going with that heavy tank, and then I'm going with now only 7 artillery, 31 shooters, and also I'm going with 2 main battle tanks. Because as you'll see in the base, I want some tanks to go along with me. So and then I've got now 9 workers with the gate finished, so I'm probably going to upgrade my sniper tower and my university to level 4, which is the maximum in industrial age. And that, other than my Alliance Gate, everything that is non-defensive will be upgraded to industrial age, and then I can start working on what I'm going to do once the university is finished. I'm going to really start working on university. I did a couple more, couple Da Vinci, so I've only got 4 levels, I guess, completed, but we'll focus a lot more on that. I'm not planning a move into global age anytime soon. We'll work on getting the defensive buildings up and the university up, and away we go. So that's a update. It's been a while. I think my last World War attack was back on November 11th, if I'm not mistaken. So here we are. We're going against First Arab Crew. They have 12 attacks and 56 stars. We have 58 stars, but we got an extra 4 attacks in. So, and they've got a couple atomic ages and a bunch of global age. And they're 5, 4. So they've got a lot of, well, they've got all but one yeah, down here, this exception, but they're hitting well, so that's good. Oh, they got a lot of Iron Ages down here, and we got also some 5 stars. I am ranked number 6, and I'm going to hit my mirror. And so there's some more 5 stars. So we've got a few defenders. So their defenses are obviously pretty good. So, and we've also got some lower bases, some beginning players. So let's have a scout. So this base, let's just check, nothing in below hiding, so I always try to check that first. So they use a 149, so approximately where I am. They've got 1 coalition on defense. It's an industrial age, so I don't have to worry about things popping out. Now, let's look at plan of attack. What do I have to be concerned about? Well, it's interesting. Although it's 149, they have air defenses. They've upgraded an IA mortar. Their cannons are upgraded to IA. A lot of the towers are upgraded. The sniper tower is upgraded. They've got 2 bunkers. I don't have to really worry about the generals. They're only level 10. And they've got all tank depots. So I'm going to get a force of tanks and defenders, and I'm going to get a lot of tanks. So my planes are going to be really critical in keeping my troops alive. So what does that mean? That means that we got to be careful. Also, we got to look for the traps. Now, one option is to drop in here, and so the troops will start clearing out this, take down the Colosseum. I could sabotage about here and sabotage here, and that will keep the bunker, and then I can rally after the fort falls, and doing that will take out the bunkers and everything else in here, and the town center, of course. The issue with that comes to mind is that looking at this base, this is a very tightly wound base, so I can say with great confidence that there's no traps in here, in this square. So that means the traps are probably sitting right along here. They could also be sitting here or in here, maybe up here, maybe a few here, but again, this is very tightly wound in here. So that sort of tells me where the traps could be. Now, what's interesting, because I know that once I get in here, I don't have to worry about traps. I also know that if I drop my troops here and they start working out here, I take down this wonder. And this is one wonder that I like taking down, because if I don't, it keeps giving health to all of the troops like this tank, and it makes them a lot more difficult. Same with the generals. So I can take down this and move in here, and what I would do is I would then look at sabotaging right in here. That's my second one. And then I would look at, once this bunker is down, I would look at rallying location number 3 and doing a protect as number 4. I would then come down here and look at doing a sabotage as number 5. Now by that time, one of these may have spawned a tank, and if it hasn't, I probably would hold off on this sabotage, because I'd like to betray this guy right here. The one concern I also have is I have this sniper tower, and I like to use my planes, but this fort will not be very kind to my planes. So if I'm going to use my planes on this, I need to take that out. So one of the things that I might look at doing, I'll have to think about it, is holding back a couple of shooters and also holding back my healers, because my healers drag and they would get taken out pretty quick with this sniper tower. So that's something that we have to take into account. I also was looking at Blitzkrieg, and I could use Blitzkrieg. It has a radius of 10, so I could also drop that down on here, and that would freeze up the bunkers. So let's just eliminate this here. So if I drop, I do my drop. It's another option, is I drop here. It starts to work here. As they move in, I can do right on here. I can do the Blitzkrieg right in here, which would then freeze the bunkers, would freeze that. Now that's only 14 seconds, so it doesn't give me a lot, and it also doesn't stop the mortars from bombarding me. And if I just come into here without stopping them, that's going to be a whole lot of hurt. So I'm going to look at trying to keep my Blitzkrieg for my second attack and seeing if I can do this without using that and clearing it out. So that's the plan. And now we know we're going to be in for a bit of a battle, but everything should work out well, just making sure that I follow the plan. And that's one of the reasons now, since they've got a lot of upgrades in the defensive, is why I've got a big heavy tank, 1 tank, plus I've got 2 tanks in the alliance, and then I've got 3 sabotages, a protect and a betrayal. I've got also a lot of these other armies, and I'm getting that from the event building that was just, I guess, ends tomorrow, and it just keeps popping out 1 troop every 8 hours. It's a bit of a pain because I've now got my tactics spread apart, and it's going to be a bit tricky. But 3 planes, check. My 154 troops, check. Generals, check. Alliance. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's go and attack and have some fun. Let's just move out. Check everything. Okay, and then for the drop. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to drop this guy first because he's the big guy and he can start taking the hits. And then I'm going to drop everything else. And here we go. And now these guys take forever to get out. Okay, let's now move out. Swing this over here. Do that. See, this is a pain with all those troops, isn't it? And let's move it into here. We're going to swing it all the way back. I want to protect everybody. There we go. We got the town center. Now, and let's go thank you. And now we want to stop that. And hopefully we're going to start taking these guys out. You know what I can do? I can now start giving air support. Good. That's exactly what I'm wanting. Now, just see if I can move out. We want to check up there. I've lost the plane. It's all right. We'll just take out. And so now we're just clearing up. So where are we? Plane. So, you know, I'm going to take out that tower. Good. And that. And now the Flampanzer should be able to take out that. So now I have nothing that's going to take out my planes. And there goes all the defensive buildings. I can drop my guys to help clean up. Now let's check it out. So we had a couple of traps. We had lots of traps up there, but they were all some traps along there. So he basically had traps where we thought there was going to be probably traps. And with that should be it with 57 seconds left. And here we go again. 5 stars, no national trade goods. I don't know what you have to do to get a national trade good in this game now, but they just don't seem to want to give me a national trade good. But overall, I think I'm happy with that attack. Felt a little rusty doing it, but remembered to do the protects and the sabotages, and everything else went pretty much according to plan. So now I will. Well, that's interesting. What happened to my retrain? Oh. There's no retrain button. Well, that's really strange. What is happening with this? Let's just go back and... Well, I got the loot showing up. But obviously there's some kind of problem with retrain, so now I have to do it manually. I think I lost both generals too. Yep, generals are down, which is fine. I've got 2 others. But now we have to go through and manually do the retrain. Oh well, such is life, not the end of the world. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, bye-bye.